Wow, it's the 24th of August already. And today's class is dedicated to clarity of intention. I like that one, clarity of intention. And, I guess and I'm going to make it super short. What I think about when I think of clarity of intention, I just want us to think about, how much of our lives are on autopilot and how much of life is intentional of our actions and that. So, yeah, and as yogis, more and more life is, it's like intentional, and the things we do and the things we say and how we go about navigating life. So that's where we're at. And I do have I have a little, it's a short quote by Mary Pfeiffer. She's a family counselor, and she says, it starts out, addicted, broke, a house full of junk, and no time to spare. That's how families end up if they let dominant culture happen to them. So it's about living intentionally, making choices, and not just doing things just because that's maybe what you think is expected of you. I don't know, buying that extra, something, eating that extra piece of pie just because, the pie is big, it's there. All right. So the other thing I want to say as we begin, let's go ahead and welcome everyone. Let's start out pointing, flexing, is that, so I love your comments, Bill, Bill Black, comments, wonderful. Anyways, so I got to, I'm doing based on some comments I've gotten, and so we're going to do isometric yoga today. And it's like, there's stretching, there's straightening, but there's stretching and straightening and holding those poses. You'll see how it all works out. So let's begin just by warming up the spine and shimmy your shoulders as you move. What you want is 2 blocks, a strap, a big strap, and a blanket or a towel that you at home. And if you don't have those props at home, it's fine. You can make do. If you haven't turned already, if you haven't changed the direction, change the direction. We'll do this one where you hold your knees, you round back, you're going back towards your tailbone, and then you come forward and you arch. You round, exhale, and then arch, move forward. Round. It's a lot like cat cow. And forward. One more. Back and forward. This time when you come forward, walk your hands forward and breathe. Deep breath in. Exhale. It's checking in with your back. Turn your head one direction, and then turn your head the other direction. Good. And then all right. So on this one we're going to do. Here's what I'm thinking. You've got a blanket. The blanket you would think doesn't weigh much. You've got a blanket, right? But you're going to fold it. It actually does have some weight, doesn't it? These are heavier than my blankets at home. So okay, I've been developing this. So these are just kind of working with variations on both. You also need blocks, just have those nearby. Okay. So we're going to start out kind of step by step. You're holding, you have this blanket. Why? For its weight, actually, for its weight. You're going to hold the blocks like 2 pizza pies, speaking of pies, and you're lengthening your spine. And then you go down, you could curl, you could keep your back extended. You're going to go to this place where you're like hovering and breathing. And then you'll come forward and extend the arms out and out to the sides. And move a little bit. Do this without running into anything. Back and straight, arms out to the side. The hands come parallel to each other. You're going back. Maybe you're going to deeper, but your shoulder blades hovering, and then come up. Lengthen, arms out to the sides and down. So you're going to be listening each time your body. Now I'm going to up the ante a little bit. Your legs, they don't have to be straight up in the air. They're a little low, with the blanket. And then you're going back and you're going to keep your legs lifted, reach, and then come up. Extend, arms out to the sides, down. Now straightening your legs, coming all the way down. Your hands, you're still holding the blocks like the pizza pies, and you're taking your arms out up overhead and let your palm is flat. The block is resting on your hands. This is supposed to be very easy. And the blocks, just the little weight of the blocks are holding your arms down. Breathing in, give yourself a full body stretch, the anterior of your body, stretch it. Your back is slightly arched, that's fine. And then bend your elbows, bring your arms towards your sides, good, you got it. And then you're going to lift, just your upper body right now, lift your upper body, that might be it for you. Maybe you can lift a little more, extend, and then lower. Take the arms out to the sides, all the way up, feel the weight of the blocks. So you could repeat that or go back to that, we'll call it half boat with the knees bent. And so basically your upper body will lift and your lower body will lift. So come out, come up, and reach and hold, breathing in, exhale, and breath in, exhale, and extending legs. Extend your arms up overhead and rest it out for a moment. Breath in. Exhale. So later we'll come to a boat without the blanket, without all the stuff. So let's go ahead and just bring your blanket to the side. You don't need it. And all you need is one block to the knees. So you may want to have the block in place, but also pull knees into chest. I should have done that sooner. And then arms are at a T position. Easier, your heels are low, and more intense. You have a 90-degree bend at your knees, 90 at the hip. Squeeze into the block, let your knees go right, and your head turns left. Knees go left, head goes right. And the idea is, you're moving slowly. This nice twist, you're going at your own pace. Always exhale as the knees go across. Always turn your head opposite. Back. And over. And thank you to the three of you who are in the studio. Wow. Thank you for being here, masks and all. Yep. And then even it out. Even it out, and then we come back to center. And a good counter pose, there's always going to be a stretch, right? So the counter pose, the soles of the feet are together. Hands are right onto the belly. Breathe into your hands. Breathe into your belly, and then exhale and feel like your navel descends. Interlace fingers, press palms up overhead, and just give yourself this wonderful stretch of the upper body. So you're being really active here, really, really active with your upper. And then releasing. And now we've got another one where it's bridge, and we're going to do 3 of these bridge poses, so you'll see how we work them. The hands are pressing down onto the mat. We're going to lift up. And I know for myself, my temptation is to clasp my hands, but we're going to tuck shoulders underneath us. Draw not just your upper arm into the mat, but your hands. trying to push into the mat. Of course, your feet pushing into the mat, and you're in bridge pose. And what's really helping you for the lift and the toning, and I think bridge is the perfect isometric pose. What's really helping you is, you know, your glutes will hold the back of your body strong, the posterior chain strong, and your arms active. Yeah. Exhale and release. Once you release, come to happy baby. A good stretch. You're holding on to your outside feet. Go wide with the knees. And breathe. The second one uses a block. The way I always learned that you put the block in between knees at the most narrow. That doesn't work for me. It's really interesting. And for the longest time, I was thinking, oh, I don't like that. Now I work it. For me, I work the middle width. So see what works for you. Many people like the, you know, the most narrow. So see how that works. And again, press up into bridge. So you're squeezing this time. You've got different actions. You're squeezing into the block. You're squeezing, you're using that like posterior chain of your body, tuck shoulders in and press palms. Good. And breathe. No. Yeah. So without straining your neck, of course, you're not straining your neck, you're looking straight up towards the ceiling. Breathing in. Don't forget to consistently squeeze into the block. And then release. Come on out. And this time when you release, of course, you can go to happy baby or just have your hands on your knees. Circle. These are supposed to be very relaxing. Knees come together. The counter poses are relaxing. Knees go out to the side, circling. And then next time your knees touch, we'll reverse the circles. Getting into the hip joints. Feeling the range of motion of your hips. Noticing the comfort in your back. All right, so the last one, no block. And you may want to watch just for a moment so that you can see what I'm trying to do. We're going to come up, we're going to extend one leg. It's not up in the air. It's going to be, you're trying to take your thighs parallel to each other, okay? So start out extending. Again, I'm kind of refraining from clasping my hands. I'm tucking shoulders underneath. And then let's start out, the right leg straightens, and it's like, so you're going to lower again. You're going to lower, so lower. Your pelvis is up, and your leg is parallel. Yep, that's it, to the other thigh. Breathing in. Exhale. Leg down. That is, for me, that's like, whoo, that's intense. All right, and then the other one. Left leg extending, and the thighs are running parallel. Good work. And your pelvis is up in the air. Your arms are helping you to press down. Breathing in. Exhale. And then lowering and come down. Happy baby. We revisit. Knees are wide. Take a moment. All right, hopefully you're on with me and everything's going well. So the next one, you take a block and your right leg is straight on the mat and left knee is bent 90 degrees. You're gonna hold the block against your left knee. Your right arm is straight. Your right hand is spread wide, like against the block. It's not hold, it's pressing the block. And your left arm is up overhead. So left arm up overhead, back of the hand touching the floor, right leg active, right ankle flexed. And it's not like I'm crossing my left knee over to the right. My knee is just having to push back against the block, right hand pushing the block against the inside left knee. Engage your core. You may be able to press your back down, you may not. I actually can't get my back all the way down in this position, but I'm working at a pelvic tilt. I'm working towards that. Breathe in, exhale. Good. And then release. We'll do the second side. Your right knee, you guys are doing great. What I can see, right knee bent, 90 degree, right hip 90 degree, right arm up overhead, left leg straight into the floor, left ankle flex, and your right arm is absolutely straight. Hand is spread wide, pushing against the block, block pushing against the right outside, inside knee, and breathe. Knee presses against block, block presses against the engage your core. Breathing in. These are great stabilizer poses, helping you with overall balance. Good. And then release. Good work. From here, let's just cross your right ankle over the other. Take your arms in the air, left wrist over the other, palms touch. Take the arms up overhead. Make yourself like this, like an elastic rope. How's that? And you kind of squeeze your head between your arms and tighten everything up. Breathing in. Exhale. Good, good. It's like you're almost ever here in yoga, lock your legs out. And this one you almost lock out. You're locking your arms, you're locking everything. Everything is moving towards the center with the dynamic energy. And then release. Pull knees into chest with ankles crossed, right ankle over the other. Hold your feet, draw the legs in. Yeah, hold on to your feet, you got it. And draw the leg crossing close in. Yeah. And then the other side. So the other way, left ankle over the other, and your legs are down on the mat. Legs are straight. Right wrist over the other. Bring your palms together. And take the arms up overhead. So it's kind of like you are making yourself, like you're really putting a lot of effort in this. If I could come to everyone, I can't on screen, but I can in here, I would give your legs a little pull. Hi. Hi.
And are your shoulder blades down your back?
Yeah, so the shoulder blades, they're, it doesn't matter too much in this pose, but I do tend to draw my shoulder blades down the back. I mean, certainly I would do that if I were standing. Yeah. Just because the floor is protecting you. One more breath here. And release, come on out. And then remember to draw the ankle across the left ankle over the other. Draw in, hold your feet, draw the ankle across the close in. Good work. And breathe. And then we're coming out. So once we come up, I bet you can guess the pose. You're like, oh yeah, she didn't forget. Okay. So here. No block needed. We're just going into boat and going back, over and extending. And as you're here, you're taking a moment to reach. You could look past one shoulder and then look past the other shoulder and look up again, like towards the ceiling. And then release. And again, a counter pose, soles of the feet together. Reach for your feet, lower your head. All right, so yeah, and it's not, we will be coming up, I promise you, but here's what we're gonna do. Have two blocks handy, your blanket handy, but first we're gonna look at a spine plan. You go left or right, it shouldn't matter, maybe position yourself so you can see. I always think, maybe you're gonna double, we're coming to plank on the elbow. So maybe you do wanna double. So you have more cushion on your bony elbow, right? And then as you're here, what you could do to make this easier, this is for anybody wanting to modify, you bring the top leg comes over, and that's how you do this. The top leg can go pushing action for you. And then if you're not modifying, you're straightening both legs and you're taking top arm up in the air. Good. And So it's the underside, the side facing the mat that is having to work harder. You take the arm up over here. Some of you can take your top leg up, you never know. And then lower. And when you lower, come to the other side. You can just turn around. I usually just turn on my mat so it's so facing. And as you're here, you'll give yourself that padding you need. Remember the modification. It's fine to use a modification. If you don't like being on your elbow, be on your hand, okay? Do the form you did on the first side. Sometimes you have to modify on one side and not the other. So here we are, breathing. Make sure one hip bone is over the other, not tilting back. That's it. And then maybe your arm comes up over here, maybe your top leg comes up. And breathe. Good. Come out. Woo-hoo. Come to sitting. All right. So how are we doing so far? I get instant feedback here. You okay?
Yes.
Your foot
Charlie
cramped?
horse, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, my foot wanted to cramp.
Yeah. It's amazing, isn't it? And you know, I've been getting that all week. So that's good. This is Charlie horse's thing. Okay. So I thought that was good. That first story. So you have your strap, it's kind of long, so I would say why not hold it in half. And I'll just guide you along as best I can. The strap is not slack, it's straight. Oh, I feel like I should be playing some Rolling Stones music. You hear that for the drummer? Yeah, the drummer passed away.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, 80, he was 80. So I don't know why. I'm like, oh, I'll play some later, not for yoga. Okay. So basically you're going to extend. So this is, you're just going to one side. I don't want the strap right up against my collarbones. So I'm holding both ends. I'm pulling, and it's supposed to be like an isometric movement. You're using your arms, and you're looking at your extended arm. And the strap, it's supposed to be want to tear it apart. Imagine a bungee cord stretched to its maximum. And go the other way. And if you don't feel what I'm talking about, you make it a little shorter, walk your hand in a little more, and extend. So your back arm, elbow is as high as shoulder. It's not dropping, shoulder's not hiking. And you're looking. And look at your arm, your extended arm. It should look like it's active. And the other side again. This time you're going to be the archer, so you're going to lean back, aiming high. And again, my tendency is to want to bring the strap right against my body, and I want little space between it and my body. And the other side. Extend, draw back your bent elbow, aim high, good. Activate your arms. It'll only work if you do the action of activating your arms. Good. And then release just for a moment. Relax your arms. You have the back. So you go behind. And again, the tendency is everyone wants to have it's almost the same movement except your arms, the strap behind. I want your strap, if possible, behind you. I don't want your head forward, but alignment. Okay. You can reverse your leg crossing if you need to. And you have the first side. And now this bent elbow, my hand is, for some of you, the bent elbow, the hand can actually rest on your shoulder if you want, or not. I'm resting on my shoulder. And breathe. Other side. Now, if you get nothing out of this, I would say you're trying this just because Fran said to try it on. And, that's fine, but maybe it's something you're not going to do a lot. But if you get a lot out of it, maybe this is something you do from time to time. Now you're going to come up. I get a lot out of it, so I don't know. So extending, and I'm pulling down with my bent elbow, pulling down, and my extended arm pulling forward, pushing forward. And then the other way, your archer, and elbows pressing down towards the floor, straight arm, forward, breathe in. Exhale, good, and release. Yeah, I know. Does that tire out your arms? It's a
Yeah,
lot-
I already
it's a
had
lot
tired
of- What's that?
I already had tried one.
Oh, you already had tired arms. So we're taking the blocks and we'll just see how this all works for you, and then we'll be done. So you stack your blocks. If this doesn't work for you, if you don't have two blocks, it doesn't work for you, you can go back. Change this music, it sounds like stuff. You can go back to the previous plank we did. If not, bring a blanket over this. Okay. I think they're singing both. They're like those bowls, but my goodness. So from here, I am coming up on the block. It's a little weird, and you'll be left to right some way that you can see me. You have your hip on the block, and you're going to come onto your elbow. It's a variation that Fran came up with, and it's definitely, it's going to work isometric. Let's say this doesn't work for you, just one leg, your top leg will come up. But if this works for you, both legs come up, and your feet are together. Yep. And I'm trying not to sink into my lower shoulder. I'm trying not to let my head come up too high. And then top arm comes up. So you're kind of like, it's kind of cool. It's like the Pilates thing. If you're on the phone. And then take the arm up over here. And then top leg, top arm come up. And maybe they touch. Yep, try not to, let's flex the lower ankle. Try not to wobble too much. And then bring your legs together and the arm up overhead. So it's really working with our side plank. Let's take the arm up one more time, leg up one more time, beautiful, and then back to center. We'll come to child's pose with our arms up on these raised blocks. So I might push them away so I can really extend my arms, lower the head. Your knees can be wide if you like, and that feels awfully nice. Second side, the only problem is your blanket's not under your knees, but I'm blocking. So second side, you bring your, it's really your trochanter, your hip, onto the block, elbows down. There might be a side that is a little harder for you. That's not unusual. Okay, legs are together, a lot of integrity, flex the ankles, top arm up in the air. Beautiful. Top arm up over here. You got it. Thank you for doing this with me. It's really weird as we go on our odd journey here. Okay, and then leg and arm come up and maybe they touch. And then bring the leg and arm, the legs together, arm up overhead. Let's move slowly with one more. Strong. Up, extend. Good, balance, and then come back, center, feet are together, and then release. And this time, let's take the blanket under the knees, push the blocks forward. So you have a little cushion for your knees if you like that. Knees could be a little wide as the blanket. Arms up on the block, and your head down, and stretch into your back. Let's move the blocks out of the way. From hands and knees, just 3 rounds of cat-cow. Ground. Inhale, arch. I'm not certain if Claudia's online. Thank you so much for this. I don't know what you call it, like face basket or something. It's
Oh
my gosh,
Yeah.
it's changing my life right now. I can see. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round. Okay, after 3. what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your ear, imagine you're taking your right ear towards your right hip. You're gonna shorten this right side of your body. And then go the other way. Draw your left hip towards your left ear towards your left hip. And then one more time on each side. Tighten and tighten. It's not the hardest thing in the world. Let's come to downward facing dog. Stretching back, and you can pedal. Bend one knee, and then press opposite heel down, back and forth. Straightening both legs. And then coming forward, and you have upward facing dog. Let's stretch, look up. And then from downward facing dog, we're gonna walk the feet wide and step, walk towards the back end of your mat. Hands to elbows, you're in the deep hamstring stretch. And breathe. Come to a squat. You might have to modify your squat, bring all the way down into your squat, right? And elongate your back. You probably don't need your blanket. Put that off the way. One hand is down, one arm comes up, so that helps you get into the upper thoracic. And then the one hand is down, the other arm comes up, trying to get into the upper thoracic, get into the upper back to move. And down. All right, and then we're going to come to a forward bend, make your way up. And then once here, the legs are together, hands are to heart center. We have the tiptoe balance pose. So I just want you to see something. There's a way in which I can lift a little bit. And like under the mask, you're smiling. We're like, yeah, that's so easy. But I actually want you to go high. I still want you to smile. And then down. And it's okay. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Is it easier for you with your feet apart or easier together? I don't know. I learned with my feet together. To me, that helps me. What do you think? I think
Should I put a block between my knees to help me?
oh yeah, that's another way. Put a block between your knees. Yeah, and it's not the easiest thing in the world. So okay, and you know how I'm gonna lift. So feet are together. If you really need them apart, that helps you. Go ahead, go there. Let's bring our hands to our heart. Lift and down. Up and that's isometric movement for your calves. Lift, keep your arms up, hold. Don't worry if you can't hold either. And lower arms. Do that one more time. But this time the arms are going to go out to the sides. Okay, your palms are going to face up. Okay, so heels up, arms up, out to the sides, hold. Breathe. And somebody can turn, toe pose, maybe you can twist. And then it makes you feel like you had a few margaritas before class or something, cocktails, I don't know. Kind of turn the other way and back to center and lower. It shouldn't be that hard, but it is. It just is. Okay, good work. Take your strap again, and this time we're going to make a loop. This one already has a loop in it. The loop is, oh boy. I'm gonna use these straps. Okay, so how big? let's say a little more narrow than shoulders. They're gonna go right at your wrists, okay? And you'll kind of get a feel for where we're going. The strap is behind you and you're going to push against the strap. Bring your right foot forward, bend your right knee, and then lift, tap the back leg. Lift, tap, lift, tap. So you're multitasking. I'm asking to push your arms, I'm asking to lift, and then bend your standing leg. Maybe go a little more. Maybe you're going to go into like a variation on warrior 3, looking down, arms pressing against the strap, and then release. We'll do the other side, arms in position. So the arms are the same, right? I hope if you're losing circulation, arms are starting, the hands falling asleep, if you take the strap away. Okay. Lift, tap, lift, tap. You're using your glutes to lift. And then you can bend your standing leg as you transition over a little more, then you can perhaps straighten. And it's okay if you're pointing through your back toes, that's fine. Often in warrior dress, they flex, point on this one. And then bend the knee as you come out. Ooh, and release. And then the arms now are forward, and they're about that same, yeah, you don't have to adjust anymore. And it's chair, there's 2 chairs. And we'll go into a stretch. So we're bending knees, and you're gonna tap down. You're tapping the hands, the arms are pressing against the strap. So you're kind of testing, like, okay, this is how low I can go with my feet together. And then I'm starting to come up. Now, all I'm asking, because of the strap, maybe the best you can do is have your arms forward. Your arms should feel really strong. Maybe you can go up more, but of course the strap will go in your face. Unless they're smart like Carol, she's holding the loop. Again. Exhale, lower, down, and straighten the legs. Why does, we do these all the time, but somehow having a strap, like it's a different focus, right? It's more intense. So one more. I don't know how wide this has to be. I'm going to put this around my thighs, just above my knees. So I think that's too wide a stance for chair. So I need to tighten. What I think is 1 fist distance between knees, kind of like if you had a block, right? And that's kind of a nice way of working this. Often in chair, the feet are together, but today I'm thinking about pushing out against the strap. Like I'm trying this on, I'm seeing like, how does that activate my knees? So my legs, this is all about legs. And so my feet are running parallel, pushing out. What I really don't want are your legs out and knees in. I know it looks really funny, and it also does a number on your knees. Not good. Okay, so you're going to drop down, and you're like, okay, I'm touching down already. You're getting like a stretch if you're tight. You get a stretch in your back and glutes, and then keeping your legs down. Feel your legs like, oh yeah, they're working for you. So you can have hands on back, hands forward, or arms up. It's your chair, but working your legs a little differently, pushing out from the strap. Exhale. Come down more. Your hands down more. And then push on up. Keep pressing against the strap. Lift. Arch back. Hands on. No more straps. Okay. Let's try not to throw it across the room. All right. So the sequence I have in mind, yes, it has some strength, it has some flexibility. So you'll notice if you come in really strong and you're doing the strength poses, it gives you a charge. Yes. And then if you come in really flexible, when you do the flexibility pose, you're like, you're melting, you're happy. So kind of notice We call them samskara. Samskaras. Notice your reactions to the different poses. This is part of the learning process. Like, I mean, you know, there are poses where I this red settles in, and I'm like, oh no, I don't need to do that. It's just a pose. So, anyways, I mean, I don't feel that way so much. So you have the front end of your mat. And you're taking your right knee up, a little balance. And then you bring your right foot back, your heel is down. It's warrior one. Extending your arms. See if you have a 90-degree bend at the knees. Good. Back heel, if possible, is down, and your little toe is anchored down. Pelvis squared if possible. It's not an easy pose. There's a lot going on. Shoulders want to come up, and you draw your shoulder blades down your back, and maybe looking up. Let's come down. Back heel will come up, and you're now you get to stretch into your hip flexor, right hip flexor. You can think of some kind as like the dust that that gets kicked up from certain poses. And what can you learn about yourself from that? Or how can you learn from that? And then from here, I'm going to come up again. And the hands are on your pelvis. Nice measure. You're going to drop your knee down, maybe a little bit. Maybe you're going to drop your knee down to hover above the floor. Breathe in. Exhale. And straighten. And you have a twist. Right hand down, left arm comes up, and twist. Triangle. Back heel is down. Extending. You're coming up to standing. That's it. And adjusting your feet so you're in one track. Yep. And then shifting your pelvis and coming into triangle. You got it. If possible, left knee is straight. It's a lot of, it's inner thigh, left inner thigh. One more breath here. Inhale. And come up, and your right hand is back, left arm is up, and left arm reaching even further back. And they call it a reverse triangle, not a revolve, but a reverse. And then we're going to come down to a lunge, low lunge position. Left foot steps back. There you are in plank. Holding for a moment. Lower onto your belly. You could be on your elbows, or which is Sphinx, or hands beside your chest and press up, thighs round. Press back to child's pose. Downward facing dog. We have another side to do. So downward facing dog, symmetrical. And then walking or springing to the front of your mat. Soften the knees as you make your way up to standing. Swing the arms out to the sides, up. Arms touch, back. Hands back to heart center. Second side. So it starts up, hands are right at the heart center, and left knee comes up. 90-degree bend, got it. Warrior one. Reach back, heel anchors down, pelvis squared. 90-degree bend, the right knee. There's always a checklist, isn't there? Extend, your arms can be shoulder distance apart, and palms to be together as possible. Look up and breathe. Come down, go into your left hip flexor, back heel comes up, stretch your left hip. Breathe. Exhale. We'll add a twist. Left hand down. Oh, I did that after. Let me do that after. Let's do this after. Let's do this one first. You still have energy. We'll do this one first. So you're coming up, right? Got ahead of myself. And your back heel's up, and you're going to have your hands on your pelvis. Bend your back knee, go close to the mat, not quite touching. And straight. And now we come to the twist. That's like dessert. Left hand down, right arm reaches up. And then you come to a triangle. So the back heel is down, opening up, you're coming up. You're gonna make sure that your feet are in one track. What does that mean? That means right heel lines up with left instep. Good. Extending, shift your pelvis, come into a triangle. Let's come up and bring left hand back, right arm up, reverse warrior. Reach up and back, good. So you're looking for a lengthening stretch along the right side of your torso. You know what's really interesting is this is the first time I'm teaching in person with masks, right? And I've done lots of online teaching, you don't wear masks. I realize how much I rely on reading expressions in everyday life, but especially in yoga, because usually I'm listening to the breath, but I'm also watching expressions and I can't, it's amazing. So I'm having to learn to read eyes in yoga. Okay, let's come down and we're gonna press back, downward facing dog. Yeah, and you should feel so accomplished. You are amazing. Here we are, stretching back. Woo, breathing, lengthening, working with that clarity of intention. My intention is, to let my ego go, to explore, to have an experience, to deepen my ever-growing awareness. My ever-growing awareness starts small, and then that awareness expands globally. So here we are. We're going to lower your chaturanga, plank, and then lower onto the belly. And once you lower onto the belly, you can be again in Sphinx or hands alongside chest. Press up, cobra. Your neck, head around. Lower. Bring one hand over the other. Let your head drop down. Breathe. And then let's press back to child's pose. So once you press back, we don't have to go all the way back to our standing pose because we are bringing it down from here. So your head is down. Exhale. Let's walk the hands over to one side. Like I went to my, I go to one side of the pool on the wrist, you can get a good stretch along the stretch side of your body. Hopefully you feel like you did a good balance working, the isometric poses and then getting a deep stretch in there as well. And then walk across the other way. And reaching, holding your wrist, lowering your head, and breathe. And then we're going to come onto our backs. And once onto the backs, let's go ahead and grab hold of the right foot, half lotus. The left leg straightened if possible. Stretching the outer right hip. But when you lift your head, you're also engaging your abdominals. I know it feels a lot like a stretch, but you're engaging your core. And let's take it the other direction. Taking hold of your left foot. Flexing the left ankle. And optional is to lift. Engage your core. So I'm going to say bridge any way you like. And what I'm going to do is clasp my hands. Because last time I did not. I just had my arms down the whole time. So that's what I'll do. But if you want to do one of those isometric ones, you may, or simply try to lift in that way, lift. When you're ready, you'll release. Happy baby is like the best counter pose for bridge. Keep the knees wide. At least one more round of breath. And then extending your legs one by one. Palms are facing up. Completely relax your body. So as you settle into Shavasana, I think the first thing to do, it's very nice to do a body scan. Scan your body, see if there's any residual tension, and let it go. completely relax your legs, your feet, your ankles, completely relax your hip joints. Face is covered. Feel a sense of grounding. This sense of gravity taking hold of you. Feel a sense of letting go, but also of maintaining presence. Feel your strength and your flexibility. And it's just whatever's happening on the physical realm, whatever happens on the physical realm happens on various levels in life. So you feel the strength coming, the flexibility coming. Sometimes it's slow, sometimes it's fast. It's gradual, it's a process. And all this is also happening mentally, emotionally, spiritually, of body, mind, spirit. It's all very integrated. And we tap into that integration. So that if there was a feeling of disconnect, after your yoga practice is always more integrified, you feel that connection, the unity, the union. Yoga is the art of union, uniting body, mind, spirit. The inner journey is also the external journey. Consciousness expands inward and outward. Awareness. Awareness of your body, awareness of your physical form, your physical body, your skin, your muscles, your bones, your vital organs. And that awareness leads us to an expanding awareness, awareness of the environment, awareness of other life forms, other life around us, be it in human form or our animal kin, trees, plants, fauna, flora, earth, alive, energy buzzing around you, tapping into it. We're going to slowly begin to deepen the breathing. As you deepen your breath, you'll move your hands, move your feet. Yeah. And then start to make your way to sitting.